And let's move to the English Premier League. It's a very big weekend. I don't know if I should call this Manchester United Tottenham game a big game, but there's also the biggest game of the weekend, which will be between Liverpool and Manchester City. And there's also Arsenal playing Sunderland. Do we hope that Arsenal win? Will Arsenal win? I hope they don't
A
win
draw,
anyways,
a
so that
draw,
there's more
a draw
pressure.
is. I think
I mean, I said it in my last video.
they drew in the
Somebody in the
first leg.
comment said, "Do I think Arsenal will be sitting down to lose while Manchester United catches up?"
Yeah. So before we get into the numbers and the predictions, I just like us to speak to these games over the weekend and how these results potentially influence the league leaders. Liverpool, Manchester City. Liverpool made a signing, I think one signing during the transfer window, spending 65 odd million on the 20-year-old. Manchester City also made some transfers, some very good ones that have yielded results. What do you guys think would happen in this match between Liverpool and Manchester City? Start with Shola. We will get to the predictions part, but just a quick word about the game. And
I mean, this is a dilemma for me because I want City to close the gap to Arsenal. I want Liverpool to drop points against us. So I guess it's not a dilemma. I guess it's clear then. I guess the answer is clear for me. Man City for the win. Not really a dilemma.
Okay.
But maybe the dilemma is Manchester City being a rival club. But I mean, the best result for United is a City win at the Etihad, and they can pull it off. So, but one observation that I made that I said earlier is like, this is a match between Newcastle's beaters. Liverpool carried to Newcastle, flog them forward, Man City carry them, beat them 3-1. You say, you think you can, whatever you can do to Newcastle, I can do it better.
The battle of House Newcastle.
Yeah, so the battle of Newcastle floggers. So I think Liverpool, they are starting to pick form, right? And City are not that consistent. But both of them, they have the arsenal, they have the weapons to actually do damage to each other. But who do I think will come out? The Anfield effects, a lot of things like that. Goeketike also in form, Flo getting his rhythm, and Salah also not doing bad. Like we had an assist last game. It seems that Liverpool probably have a more serious team right now. But I mean, I will prefer Pep Guardiola over. I think Pep Guardiola comes on top of Arne Slot. So I think if he can, I think he can pull it off. It's just I don't know if his players can execute whatever he has planned. So I see a narrow win for Man City.
Don't worry, you will tell us what that narrow is in a bit. Yeah. Brown, Manchester United, Tottenham.
Ooh. Do I consider this to be a big game, given that Tottenham has been, one of the
shambolic
teams away from home?
You've not beaten Tottenham since 2022.
I agree. The same thing with Arsenal at the Emirates. So we are not afraid of challenges.
Okay, but they beat you last season to win a trophy.
Let them know.
That was bad. Why? This is
that was under
all things have passed away. All things have passed away.
Okay. That was under a delusional Ruben Amorim. Our eyes have cleared. The scales have been taken off.
I hope Carrick will not become delusional soon.
Okay. So we are not afraid of challenges. Big team.
I remember. Sorry, Brown. I remember it was Lampard that said that. It was like when we want to play Spurs, that the coach does not need to talk too much. Just, guys, it's Tottenham. Guys, it's Spurs. Go do your thing. I think Carrick will just say the same to guys. It's Spurs.
Just do your thing.
Yeah.
So Tottenham, like I said, they have been one of the poorest teams away from home. And I'm hoping that Man U will do what we have done in the last 3 games, before we even played Fulham, right? Our biggest fears as United fans were not against big teams, right? But against these more or less smaller teams. No disrespect to any team in the Premier League. But with the way we came out with that fighting spirit against Fulham last weekend, I don't see any difference on Sunday. I mean, when Manchester United steps out to play against Tottenham, who, for the last couple of years is also considered as one of the top big six teams in the Premier League, even though right now they are sitting 14th on the table, right, with losses, back-to-back losses, back-to-back draws and all that. Most recently against Man City. I think it's going to be a game of two halves with a lot of goals. But at the end of the day, away from all kind of sentiments, I feel like with what we are doing under Michael Carrick, I don't see any team in the Premier League that we cannot beat right now. So yeah,
Facts.
it's
Factors.
I'm
No,
looking
no
forward.
lies
Factors.
I'm looking
detected.
forward to that game.
Clock it,
Factors.
clock it,
I'll
clock
hold
it,
off
clock
for the
it.
predictions for now, but
Okay.
I'm looking forward to that game. So clock it. You can beat anybody.
Clock it. AY, Arsenal Sunderland.
By the way, I will be there live at the Old Trafford to witness
Ooh,
how
nice one.
Manchester
So
United
we'll be
will
streaming our wins
annihilate
live.
Tottenham. We
But
see.
for the record, you've not won in your past 2 visits, and you are not winning again.
No. My
Leave,
past two
by Bele,
visits,
leave
there
them
was
alone.
one loss and one draw, and this is the time to have a win.
For the
I said,
win.
I
For
said,
the
I said you've
win.
not
Yes.
won.
But
Yes,
Shola, I'm
the
sorry
same
for
way
you.
I've gone to
All
the
the
same way
times
I've
that you
gone to
have gone to.
Emirates. The same way I've gone to Emirates and I've not won. It's the same way
You
I
are not
went
an
to
Arsenal fan now.
Kunya.
You can't, you,
Kunya
you
them.
can't, you
Shola,
can't
sorry,
use bad
you.
luck.
For the record, all of the
Yeah.
times that you have been to Old Trafford, you did not win. Oh.
That's what he's
Until
saying.
now. That's what I'm saying.
Until
Until
now.
now. Okay.
Until now.
Until
The
now.
same way
Okay.
AY said, I don't know what's giving you the confidence to be saying that you have not beaten Arsenal at the Emirates since 2017, since this one. And I said what? Until now.
Now.
Yes, we shall see.
Anyway, Arsenal Sunderland.
So Arsenal Sunderland is going to be a very interesting game. Interesting because Sunderland, they're a very funny team. They are the only team in the league that haven't lost at home, and their away run is
Very
actually
sure that
shambolic.
you are sad to say. Very sad of you to say that.
As long as I'm in a final, as long as I'm number one, as
Final
long
that you
as
will
I'm
lose. Final that you will lose.
then I used to all your eights. So as I was saying, Sunderland's away form is actually very, very poor. Anyways, away they won at Chelsea. Anyway, Chelsea is a small club. Arsenal beats them. So Sunderland beats them at Stamford Bridge and
We will
also
not hear
beat
the last
Forest
of this thing. We will not hear the last of this thing.
and Forest away. So the first leg we drew at their place 2-2. We came back from a goal down. We scored 2 goals, then they scored last minute. Fortunately for us now, they will be missing Granit Xhaka, and because he's currently injured, and
Big miss for
yeah,
them.
he's currently injured and he won't be able to. He's not fit for the game, and the game would be before the City game, so it's more or less little or no pressure on us now to win. And if or when we win, we are going to be 9 points clear of City. So yeah, I see. Yeah, that's not winning.
That's if City does not win. For that reason, I would say that Man City will win and you will lose. Anyways, that's just me being a hater.
Arsenal will not lose, but Arsenal will draw the match.
I think that they should. I think that they should be able to beat Sunderland.
Okay.
Anyways,
We shall see.
Wolves Chelsea. It was quite disappointing during the week how the game against Arsenal turned out. I mean, it was quite obvious from the start of the game what the coach wanted to do. He wanted to be able to secure the game in the first half so that we don't concede, which worked pretty well. But the next question was, at what point do we switch from this defensive setup to a more attacking one? I guess the gamble did not work because the idea, I assume, in the head of the coach is when Estevao and Palmer came on, there would be some magic. Maybe when Garnacho comes up, so there will be something. Enzo Fernandez had a lot of chances. I don't know. It was just shooting over the bar and all of that. But speaking to the Wolves game, I think that there's something to be happy about. I mean, the last 3 Premier League games, we have won all 3. So it's just 6 and 8 now. Both of the 2 losses outside of the Premier League. So, which I think is something. It's a very good record we have there. Against Wolves, we beat them the last time 3-0, just 8th of November last year. And I think it should be the same thing. I think that Chelsea should come out of this one. Even though we just heard today that there's injury to Jamie Gittins, who I don't really care whatever happens to him. He has not really played anything. He has not really played anything like that. So if he's injured, the only problem I have with this news is that Garnacho will get a lot of game time.
Or
That
Neto.
guy.
Put respect on my guy's name.
I cannot even start.
Alejandro.
Don't let me even go there. Don't let me go to Garnacho. So
You guys
yes,
started Garnacho
we'll just
earlier
get...
against us now. You wouldn't have lost that match.
But Chelsea was laughing
Somebody-
at us when they bought Garnacho initially.
Somebody that
Man,
played
you
nonsense
thank
in
you
the
for
last...
giving us Alejandro Garnacho. Man, you thank you. Man, you kills
That guy
all
played
the
absolute
players.
I saw
nonsense.
Garnacho. Chelsea were looking for a goal. 95 or 96 minutes. Baba they passed back. They cannot
He couldn't even complete. He couldn't even complete passes,
They passed
especially the
Arsenal.
previous game
I was
before the
like,
Arsenal one. God,
94, 95. They passed back for 95.
Now, waiting there by Tango say they collect them for one. I mean, look at the comparison between Garnacho and Cunha. What an upgrade! My goodness. No, forget.
Okay, let's get into the games. Just give us your thoughts really quickly. Leeds, Nottingham Forest, just run through it. So each person takes 2 games per time. Let's start with AY. Leeds, Nottingham Forest. You are at liberty to tell us either team score or the scoreline, whatever you wish.
Leeds Forest, I see Leeds narrowly winning 1-0.
Okay.
16-17, so it's going to be a difficult game. 1-0 to Leeds.
Okay. Fulham, Everton.
Fulham, Everton. Fulham, I see Fulham winning 2-1.
Okay. Shola.
I see Leeds to beat Nottingham Forest 2-1.
Okay.
And I see Fulham to draw Everton 2-2.
Leeds Forest, Fulham, Everton.
Leeds Forest. I feel sorry for Leeds. I mean, they played Arsenal, no levels, even at home. So, unfortunately, I see this one ending in a draw. There are teams that are struggling for points. So, I see this one ending in a 1-1 draw. Fulham, Forest, Leeds.
And Fulham, Everton.
For the Fulham-Everton game, of course, Everton will come with a defensive mindset. And Fulham are a scoring side. At the end of the day, it's going to be a 1-1 draw. I see a 1-1 draw between these teams.
Anyway, Manchester United against Tottenham, Wolves against Chelsea. Give us your thoughts.
If Spurs can repeat the second half they had against City, I see them drawing the game 2-2. Another draw for Shola at Old Trafford.
What a life.
So Chelsea,
If you don't
Wolves
this time, I will collect my
do.
money back. Oh.
From who? From Cunha or from Bruno?
Because you guys, Tottenham, they're like 8 matches unbeaten against United. So I don't know. Anyways, I shall see a draw. So the second game, Wolves Chelsea. Wolves will start with the initial but Chelsea will win 3-1.
Thank you for that.
With uncle. Is it not visible to the blind?
Manchester United.
Wolves made
against
difference.
Tottenham.
Say thank you for that. What Wolves will do?
Anything can
Their
happen
Wolves
with
no
this
get their Wolves no get level. Their Wolves
Anything
are
can
wrong.
happen.
It was Wolves that almost won Arsenal.
Yes, so anything can happen with this Chelsea team.
They even drew Manchester United now.
They almost won Arsenal just to give Arsenal 2 own goals.
They don't have any goal this season that
at
could
least-
destroy
When they
other people's
do
effort.
Man U, don't be Ruben Amorim. Now Man U be that.
So now,
Wow. Now
remember Amorim's game, not daily Gabi.
they have
No,
turned Amorim
not
to
the-
Jesus Christ. Amorim has carried your sin away. Okay. Shola, Manchester United, Tottenham, and Wolves, Chelsea.
Manchester Tottenham 2-0. Can't score us.
Yeah.
For
What
who?
day?
For who?
For Tottenham.
It's very obvious now. 2-0. Home side, home win. Let's go. Wolves,
Okay.
Chelsea will annihilate them. With the hatred, with the anger of Arsenal, Chelsea will blow Wolves away. Who are the Wolves?
Okay.
I mean, as mentioned earlier, under Michael Carrick, there's no team in the Premier League we cannot beat. Yes, it
That
is
we have
fact.
not beaten. Under Michael Carrick,
That
there is
we
no team in the Premier League that we have met that we have not beaten.
As AY mentioned, in the last 8 meetings between United and Tottenham, we have not had the best of records. But with this United side, then we used to have Garnachos and the likes.
Now you're
Thank
giving us
God
the
they are
Ghana.
not there. We don't have those
Stray
kind of
bullets.
players again. So with the kind of firepower we have up front, and Cunha and Benjamin
Cunha,
Sesko,
Bruno.
we are going to do magic. So I
There's
see us
no dance for
beating.
you this week. There's no dance for you this week.
Don't worry, I will dance my Cunha
If there is no
dance.
dance for us, I take my prediction against Chelsea back. I don't dance. You don't.
Well, if Manchester United wins this game, you have to give us that Cunha dance in front of Old Trafford.
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
That
Of
one is the
course.
smallest thing.
Exactly.
Bruno.
So
So
Man U, Tottenham, forget about the past. We are beating Tottenham by 3-1. They will have the opportunity to score 1 goal because if they did what they did against Man City, of course, I see them scoring at least 1 goal. At least 1 goal. So yeah, we are beating them by 3-1. And for Chelsea, Wolves. Remember what Chelsea did to the team they played after losing to Arsenal in the EFL first round of the
that was Charlton.
semi-finals. That is what Chelsea is going to do to Wolves.
Who is called the Ghost?
On that day, we'll find out. It will be like a movie. You will see this guy. What's that your number 20 again? That your striker.
Palmer.
That holds up good play. No,
Palmer
is
is 10 now.
João Pedro, thank you. João Pedro is going to get a goal in that match, right? Because he'll be getting those second balls off the run of the likes of Dilap. So I honestly think he's going to. And again, this guy that was rested, this Portuguese guy that was rested for the game against Arsenal,
Renato.
I'm expecting him to come on in the second game, and hopefully Liam Rosenau does not do what he did against Arsenal, hoping to bring your firepower in the
No, you can't do
second half,
that with
and
Wolves.
then they will do magic.
It's a different kind of game, I would say. I don't think that's right.
So, of course, I'm expecting him to come with this one, with all of his firepower, and then go attacking on Wolves from the very first minute. So I see Chelsea winning this one by 3-1. And then João Pedro has a goal in this game.
So that's you betting on João Pedro to score a goal?
Yes. I'll put my money on him.
Hold him responsible. João Pedro does not.
I'll put my money on him.
Bournemouth, Aston Villa, Newcastle, Brentford. These are going to be 2 very tough games.
Yeah, Bournemouth, Villa lost to Brentford their last game, and 2 wins in about 6 games for Villa. We thought they were going to mount a very good title challenge, but maybe because of their other competitions, they've not been able to do that. And I see a win or draw for Bournemouth. I don't see Villa winning again, unfortunately. So I see a home win or draw for Bournemouth. Then to the Newcastle-Brentford game. Unfortunately, Newcastle lost their last 2 games to Liverpool and City. I don't know. Their second leg semi-final game against City, they were just they were just awful in the first half. Their midfield was just very porous, and I see them narrowly winning Brentford 2-1.
Okay. Newcastle they are the new punching bags in Premier League. Shola?
For Bournemouth, Aston Villa, I see a win or draw in this one. Because Aston Villa, they have like what it takes to actually come out of top, but due to their recent form, so just to be safe, a draw away. And then same for Newcastle actually, home or draw, home win or draw for this.
Brown.
I mean, for the Bournemouth game, I don't know what is happening with Bournemouth lately, right? Because they kind of like have been sliding down the table.
They lost
But
their prayer warrior.
I mean, in Semenyo, one of in fact, their best player up until his move to Manchester City. So that is really hurting that team, to be honest. And with all of the injuries they've had, with Kluivert and the rest. So yeah, that's really hurting that team. But then again, you look at this Aston Villa side, who in their previous game conceded only one goal early in the game. But for some reason, they were unable to come back from
Against
that.
10 men.
Like
Yeah.
it was just shocking personally when I saw that. It was just a shocking performance from Aston Villa losing to his side with one man down. So yes, Bournemouth with all that injury, they are a scoring side. So I see them scoring at least 2 goals in this one. And I don't see Aston Villa winning this one. So yes, I see 2-1 win for Bournemouth in this game.
Okay, next one.
And then the Newcastle Brentford game. I mean, like we saw a couple of days ago. I mean, yesterday precisely. Newcastle are a team that they have goals. The guy that scored their first goal in the EFL Cup against Manchester City, Anthony Elanga, could easily have scored at least 2 goals. And if some of their attacking players, especially in the second half, were able to hold up, like Wissa, hold up their runs, delay their runs just a little bit more, they would have been able to beat that Man City defense and then perhaps equalized 3-3. But these chances were thrown away. So indeed, you can tell that this Newcastle side have goals in them. It's just a matter of them being able to execute properly and in the right time, right? So they will score goals for sure. And then again, Brentford is not a side that sits down and allows you score goals. Brentford are also going to come out to play this Newcastle side, especially because of their recent form. So I see Newcastle scoring at least 2 goals in this match, and then perhaps Brentford as well. So it could easily be both teams scoring, and then Newcastle going home with the win or drawing this one.
So win. Win or draw.
Yeah.
Okay, AY, the Gunners up against Sunderland and Brighton and Hove Albion playing Crystal Palace.
Yeah, home win. Arsenal winning 2-0.
You know, express some doubts now and then say, well, maybe we will eventually. Don't just say home win now.
So
You're
the
too
thing
proud.
is, if I'm to express doubt, if I'm to
My brother, be
express
proud. It is your time to
doubt,
shine.
it would be because we don't know the team which is actually true, the team that would actually start for us now. Because last game, Odegaard was injured, Kayo is still injured, so Eze started, then played 10 against Chelsea, and it wasn't that fantastic. It was just there. He didn't really play anything. So left back, I don't know who wants to start. Maybe Calafiori, and up front, I don't know if it's Jesus or Gyökeres. Right, left, I don't know if it's Trossard or Martinelli. So that's just the doubt that or the uncertainty that I actually have. But of course, I know Raya would start. He already has 20 clean sheets. in all competitions this season. So let's see. Should be able to keep another clean sheet. 2-0 Arsenal. Then Palace, Brighton. Palace, they haven't won. I don't know what's wrong with Palace. They haven't won in like 5 or 6 games. So I see them drawing this game again 1-1.
Shola?
Arsenal, Sunderland. It's going to be a draw at the Emirates.
You want to win Tottenham?
Of course.
Games are mutually.
Of course.
They are not dependent on each other.
Brighton, Crystal
and
Palace,
Crystal
also a draw. Also a draw. Or
Also-
I would rather
also
go with
absolutely.
home win or a draw. But Arsenal, I'm so confident it's not home win or draw. It's a win or draw.
You are being biased.
Now
You are
because
just
you don't know
being
Sunderland
a
now.
hater.
They didn't beat Sunderland the first leg too. They didn't.
They've also
And that's
not-
why they will take
not-
revenge now. But I
they've
mean,
not
Tell
that's
me
your
one
opinion.
person that has beaten Sunderland at home.
For instance, where is the seed up today?
No one.
Uh-huh.
But United
The
will
seed
go
was
there.
very
We'll
odd.
go and beat them.
Right. Brown, do you think Arsenal will beat Sunderland, or maybe Sunderland will beat them?
Sunderland will not beat nothing. See, let me tell you. You see Arsenal. You see that the 5 goals they conceded in their back-to-back games between Manchester United and
They will pour it on Sunderland.
that they play. See, what they did to this team, Leeds. Leeds was one of the most difficult teams to beat at home up until that Arsenal game. Arsenal went there and just trashed Leeds like they were a championship side promoted to the Premier League for the first time. Championship is even better. League One at home. See, these people should not even bother. You hear me? They are coming there to the Emirates to concede goals. And I see Arsenal, forget about what they did at home, at the Stadium of Light. Forget about that one. They are
Arsenal
coming
go
to
off
the
that
Emirates.
light.
Arsenal go off that light. Take the stadium, come out. Arsenal is scoring at least 3 goals.
Arsenal is beating them at the Emirates. The light at the stadium is going off.
Oh, okay.
Go off. They no go even see money to even pay their bills. Off the light, take their money, join. So yes, I see Arsenal scoring at least 3 goals in this match. They are
Brighton
going
Crystal
to
Palace.
so beat these people, especially with Xhaka not even available for this game. Arsenal is winning this game by 3-0.
That's very
And
confident.
then moving on to the Brighton and Palace game. Palace, there is no adjective to describe the poor performance of Palace in the last God knows how many games they have played. In fact, winning is so scarce that even in the FA Cup, they are losing. They go to Europe, they are losing. They are either drawing or losing. They play Forest, they are losing. To Chelsea at home, losing. These were teams that last season they were beating. But since Glasner came out to say he's not staying back at the club, and then they started selling off their best players, they have hardly seen any win. And this is not going to be any different. Unfortunately, the season is coming to an end for them. If any team prays for this season to come to an end any quicker, it's Palace. So I don't see Palace winning this one. I see a 1-1 draw for this one. 1-1 draw.
Yeah, which is still good for them, even if you enter in a draw. I mean, Palace have been very, very consistent in the Premier League, at least staying for the past couple of years now. So hopefully it doesn't end in relegation for them. Anyway, Burnley, West Ham.
Burnley too, they've not won in recent games. I see West Ham winning them 2-1. Then Liverpool, Manchester City.
Speak like a football fan, not somebody that has interest too.
I would speak like a football fan, but with an Arsenal undertone. City, they have not beaten Liverpool. You people that we are saying you want City to win, of course, can they win? Yes, but City is not the City of previous years. They've not beaten Liverpool in a very long time. In fact, in 25 years away to Liverpool, they've only won twice. So it's going to be City dropping points again. And in their last 3 games, City's second half performances, nothing to write home about. They will play very well in the first half, play fine. See their last game against Tottenham, they should have scored like 4 goals. They didn't score, they scored only 2. Tottenham came back to equalize 2-1, 2-2 rather. Yesterday or day before yesterday again, second leg against what's the name?
Newcastle.
Against
Newcastle.
Newcastle. First half, they had the opportunity to score 5, 6 goals. They scored 3. And second half, they were not as good as they were in the first half. So their second half performances are always very, very, very poor. Then Haaland again is not firing. He has just 1 goal in 12 matches. So it depends on how Pep wants to set up. If he's bold enough to bench Haaland again and maybe start Semenyo, start this guy Mamouche, and just mix them, maybe they have a chance. But Liverpool too, they are also firing. Vets and Eketike, they are also linking up well. Played very well against Newcastle. So I see a 3-1 Liverpool win.
Shola, Burnley, West Ham, Liverpool, Manchester City.
Burnley, West Ham. This one. I think it's going to end in a draw, just like we saw. I think it was Nottingham Forest, Crystal Palace last week. That I think it's going to be like a similar match, similar game, ending up in a 1-1 draw.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then Liverpool, Man City.
Liverpool City. City is going to beat Liverpool 3-1.
So
Okay.
Brown, Burnley, West Ham, Liverpool, Manchester City.
I mean, Burnley, West Ham. Burnley, I don't know. I just hope that this season they are able to survive relegation. That and to say that is a fantasy, to be honest. I don't see Burnley come out of this relegation zone. Not anytime soon. And if after 25 games you are still sitting there, you might as well just see the season out in that position. So I mean, West Ham, they are currently on a roll. They have the better chance of coming out of this relegation battle. And to be honest, it's a game of bottom teams. And these games can be quite interesting. So I will even urge fans to see one of these games, to see this game. It's going to be an interesting game. But at the end of the day, I don't see Burnley winning this game. I see West Ham coming out with all 3 points, especially with what um, their coach is doing. And then you see players like the guy from Holland who scored a header in their previous game, Somerville, now
Right.
getting in his strides, and then you see their captain Bowen as well, firing up front. So yeah, even though they are sitting, West Ham is sitting 18th on the table, they've scored quite a significant number of goals. I mean, for a relegation side, about 25 goals. I mean about 29 goals, right? So yeah, they've had good number of goals. So I see West Ham winning this one by 2-1. West Ham winning this one by 2-1.
And Liverpool,
And
Manchester
then
City.
Liverpool City game. I'll speak to Liverpool first. Yes, Liverpool, I have strikers that are currently firing, and in the last 2 games, they've actually scored 10 goals, which is quite a good number of goals. Coming from a side that was actually struggling to even get a win. And the last win in the previous weekend against Newcastle was their first win this year in the Premier League, right? So good one for them, good one for them. But the thing now is that Manchester City also pose two of the highest goal scorers in the Premier League as of right now. The top three, 2 out of the top 3 highest goal scorers in the Premier League plays for Manchester City. Yes, Haaland is currently struggling for form, but take nothing away from Semenyo. Semenyo is firing, right? And like I said, he is one of the 3 top goal scorers with at least 12 goals in the season, which is quite a significant number for an attacking player, right? So Man City have players that can score goals, and you see Omar Mamouche, who is also coming on, and then he's also scoring goals, even though Haaland is sitting on the bench. So Man City have goals in them. My challenge with City is seeing games out. You would notice in their last couple of games, in the first half, they've been brilliant and flawless. But when it comes to the second half of the games, they seem to be a shadow of themselves. So it is a tricky game, to be honest. And I honestly cannot say for sure who I am expecting or who I think is going to come out victorious in this one. So ultimately, it's a game, it's a 50-50 game that can go either ways. Do I see a draw? No. But either team can win this one. Either team can win this one because they have goal scorers in both teams. But are their defenses as solid? I guess not. So either team to win this one, but it is not going to be a goalless draw.
It's definitely going to be a tough game between Liverpool and Manchester City. If you ask me, I don't want to say anything that will favor Arsenal, right? But if you ask me, I would say this. I would say this might actually end in a draw. It might end up being a very boring game.
I mean,
Of
if
course,
it ends as a draw, it's also going to be in favor of Manchester United, who I want to think are also title contenders.
You are also drawing, so how will it end in your? You're also going to draw, so how will it end in your favor?
We are not drawing.
The best result for
We are not drawing. We are beating Spurs by 3-1. Watch.
Okay.
Manchester United Tottenham game. I think Manchester United will beat Tottenham. Tottenham, although they technically used to show up in big games, right? So maybe they might give Manchester United a tough time, but maybe it will end in like a 3-2, 2-1 sort of thing. Chelsea will beat Wolves. There's no doubt about that. I think that Arsenal should also beat Sunderland. Yeah, these are the games to watch out for this weekend. And let us know what your thoughts are in the comment section. Do you agree with these predictions? Do you disagree? Do you think Arsenal will lose? Or do you think Manchester City will win and then, lower that gap between them and Arsenal? Well, don't mind me. I always say Arsenal will lose. It is what it is. Anyways, I'm still salty that Havertz scored in the final minute of that game.
Expected, and he pointed to the bar.
You add pepper to that salt. You add pepper to that salt.
Pointed to the bar.
But anyways, that will be all from us today. From myself, AY, Brown, Shola. We say have a good weekend and enjoy the football this weekend. Ciao.